Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick video. Well, we'll see how long it takes, if it's quick or not. But I want to show the materials that I use and different techniques that help me to do hand drill successfully without wasting a lot of time, getting tired. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things. People go super quick, super fast, and they distribute their energy inefficiently and they gas out. And so that's why I wanted to do this. Most of the videos you see, people will explain along the way, but they don't necessarily explain all the mistakes people make. And I'm not going to go over all of them, but just a few to help you. So let's get started. Not every bird's nest material work. Make sure it's really dry, because I've actually gotten a cold before, and because I didn't have the greatest bird's nest material, I wasn't able to blow it into flame. So you want to pick very good, make sure it's very dry material, and you can just see how fibrous this is. And there's actually like a powdered dust coming off it. I use like a little piece of leather. You could use a leaf, anything to catch the coal in. But I like the coal to kind of like let it simmer, and we'll go over that later as we get a coal. But I like the coal to simmer, and you can see there's a hole through here. So if you do use a leaf, be aware of that. If you're gonna let it simmer, make sure that it's a pretty thick leaf. And then this is the fruit stalk of a queen palm out here in San Diego. So I just looked at my local materials, and everyone can do it. It doesn't matter where you live. You'll be able to find something that you can use. The fruit stalk off of a queen palm works great. That's one of my favorite hearth boards. I like mule fat, but this horseweed works really good. And as you can see, that's actually pine sap on there. I used to spit on my hands to kind of wet it, to kind of get good grip as you're getting downward pressure. But that dries up and you have to reapply that, and then when you stop and do that, you lose your friction, you lose your speed, you lose your heat. And so with this, as you can see, as it warms up, it gets tacky, it gets sticky. And I mean, this thing, once it starts getting sticky and warm, you can feel it. It just starts to get tacky as your hands get on it and you start working it. So okay, so let's make another notch right here. It doesn't need to be much. Just a little divot, because with that little divot, the drill's gonna go in there, and now we're gonna burn out. And then after we burn out, we're gonna make the notch. So let's go ahead and burn out. Okay, so see the hole right there? We're gonna burn out, and we're gonna char that area. With this, you can go as fast as you want, because you're trying to get that burnout. That's it. See that? It's actually smoking. So do you see how it looks now? There you go. So let's carve our notch now. So what I like to do is kind of go towards the side, aim my lines where they want them to be. And this material is actually kind of hard. It's like in between medium and hard. And I always feel like I'm gonna cut myself when I'm doing the notch, but I haven't yet. But let's just say I always make use of my first aid kit. You don't need to see the whole notch carving. I'll get back to you. So you can see we got our notch here. We got plenty of room here on the bottom. We got some airflow right here, and we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna go and get a coal, and I'm gonna walk you through it as I'm doing it, if I can do it without running out of breath. Okay, one of the big problems I had when I first started is sometimes I would put the coal in the bird's nest, and I've actually blown so hard I've blown the coal out and messed it up. And you want to be careful of that. So you want to find You want it when you're doing your bird's nest. I like to kind of make sure it's nice and soft. And the reason why I'm going over this is because you don't want to be doing this once your coal's ready. You want to be doing it, you want to have your bird's nest ready. And find a nice soft place where your coal can sit in there and where you can wrap it up nice and tight. When you wrap it up nice and tight, you can give it some good oxygen and have it ignite that way. So we got this ready. I took my shoe off because, like monkeys, we can get a better grip with our feet than we can with our shoe. So I'm gonna put my my piece of leather down, and this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna explain it very easily. I'm gonna start off nice and slow and warm up the board. I'm not gonna put a ton of effort into it. I'm just gonna start off nice and slow. Once I start seeing smoke, I'm gonna bear down. Now, another thing that people don't show you too is if this area ever gets shiny, you want to scratch that out, or kind of, you know, take the tip of your knife and scratch that out to where it's not shiny. The same with your drill. If it's shiny, get rid of that. And the tip of it's shiny. So I'm going to get rid of that, just that little jet part where the pith is shiny. Don't need it. And now we're good to go. And let's give it a whirl. So we'll start off slow. We're gonna heat up that pine pitch on this spindle. Once we have it going and we start to see smoke, we're gonna bear down on it hard and fast, okay? So just nice and slow, just warming it up. I'm doing the floating technique, so my hands aren't going down right now. I'm not great at it, but it does work. Warm it up. You can go a little faster. Starting to see some powder, some fall through the notch right now. You start to see that smoke. I don't know if you can see it, but it's definitely starting to smoke right now. I'm not out of breath at all, even though I'm out of shape. And at any time we want, we can start going faster and faster. Make sure you're breathing when you do it. A lot of people hold their breath. It's just like working out. You never want to do that. Whoa. Okay. We got two coals here, but we could have an epic fail here. I hate that word, epic fail. I knew it was forming a coal, but I kept going because I wanted to make sure. I got too excited. So here's our coal. What we're gonna do is we're gonna let it sit, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm breathing heavy. Well, you could hear it. So it takes effort at the very end to kind of give it your all to make sure you get that coal. Now that you got that coal, see it? Let it simmer, and as that coal builds, it gets all that powder and starts growing. And that's a good size. Can you see that? That's a decent sized coal. So put your coal in there. Wrap it up nice. You want the smoke to obviously not go in your face. Like that. It's not too windy today. Ready? It's gonna go right here. Ready? And there's your fire. wasn't that hard. I still don't feel like I ran the 5K in junior high. I feel good. We got a fire. And it's a win-win. You could have your kindling and everything ready to have your fire started, but that's it, folks. Thanks for hanging out. If you have any questions, leave some comments down below, and thanks for hanging out. See ya.